Hey guys, Rex here, and today I've got something super duper exciting for you, and that is the new version of my directions filter. Now, what I've done with it is I've updated it to use the new 1.9 command blocks, as you can see, which are really nice because if you have the output off, then they don't cause block or chunk updates, I think it's called, and that way they cause a lot less lag, which is really awesome. And I've added tons and tons of new features that will really help make cooler things with this filter. But if you're here, you may not know what the directions filter is, and it's a filter that essentially takes a single command and generates a big array of command blocks like you're seeing right here. And what those command blocks do is each of them has a different rotation value for the player, and they also do a bit of trigonometry to add motion to a projectile. So what I made with it here is a couple demos. You can see we have 3 there. And the first one is, you'll probably recognize this as one of the most iconic weapons from Splatoon, the splatter shot. So when I right click here, you can see that we are getting projectiles fired out whatever direction we are looking. And these are actually armor stands wearing blocks on their head. Very, very cool. And all it's doing here is it's testing to see if we're right-clicking the carrot on a stick, and then it's putting a pulse into here, which is going to trigger this whole array of command blocks, which each one has a different rotation value, and it will spit out this little block like this. So super duper cool. I have a couple more examples here. So now one of the huge features of the filter is that you can use it with any command syntax. So you'll notice when I shoot the splatter shot here, the blocks do not appear inside my head. They will actually appear a little bit in front of me. And that is because if I run over to this command block, you'll see that we've got, you can see the values are stuck in here, where we have motion, blah, 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 some big huge long numbers there. And you can see we also have them where we have the relative direction here, where it summons the armor stand. So we can now use it with tildes, we can use it with, commas, we can use it with any command syntax because of the way I've made the filter. And so I've got a couple other examples here. So the first one, let's turn it on. This is a way to make it work with particles. So you can do some pretty awesome things. Check this out. Ha ha ha, we have a fire ring. It's glorious. And this looks pretty weird if you ask me. And due to the way 1.9 renders particles, it's not laggy at all. And it just looks super awesome. Check this out. Very, very cool. It looks a bit strange when I fly like this, but look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Alright, so you can do all sorts of cool things with this. Let's turn this back off. And I've got one last example to show you guys. Here we go. This is a little like force field bubble that I've made. And it just follows you around and always stays in a sphere around you, but there's none inside the sphere, and it sort of stays in like little rings like this. It's pretty cool. And yeah, like I said, you can do all sorts of things, and with these two, let's turn this off because it will be a bit annoying. Where am I going here? These two, you notice I've actually turned off the thing that tests for the player rotation. So in these two cases, I've basically made it just use the directions without the testing for the player rotation. And that way it automatically does every single one of them, and then gives you a circle like that. And for this one, you may have noticed that it's only going horizontally and not all around me like this one was. And that's because that's another new feature I've added to the filter. You can now set it to only use the horizontal axis, and then it will only do command blocks for the horizontal one. And that way, for example, this one, I have 360 here, one for each degree. And you can see with this one, we've got a lot more because we have the X and the Y axis to take care of, but we've also got a much worse, I guess the term is, a worse accuracy with how good it is. You can see that it does go in intervals, obviously. It's not perfect, but this one, for every command block, there's 1 degree. So, yeah, pretty cool. So I'm going to show you now in MC Edit what I have going with the filter, and I'll show you how to use it and whatnot. So I'll see you over there. And of course, with me being me, I forgot to actually set up the command first. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a little invention together while I show you how to use the filter. So I've quickly made a dummy objective here called riding, and we've got these two command blocks. This one sets it to 0, and this one will set it to 1 if I'm in a minecart. So you can see at the side, when I get in the minecart, it's 1, and when I get out, it's 0. And then I have this command set up here. So to use the filter, all you have to do is place down a command block and type your command into it. But we've got some fancy things we're going to be adding here. So we've got execute from A, all players with a score of riding of at least 1, and we're going to do entity data on the nearest minecart, and here's the entity data here. But you'll notice we have some interesting things here. So where we want to put the player rotation arguments, so like RYM, RY, RXM, and RX, we're just going to put rot, like this. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you're doing the horizontal or the horizontal and vertical, you just want to put rot where that is, capital R-O-T, and then anywhere you can have more than one of these where you want to put a direction thing where it has the trigonometry motion values, you're going to put dir, capital DIR, open bracket, close bracket, and then you're going to have some arguments in between. The first argument is going to be the speed, okay? So that is the either this like the value that everything is multiplied by. So in the case of a projectile, that would be the speed, or if you're using tildes here, that's going to be the distance that it is. And then the next argument you're going to encase in quotes like this. It's a bit hard to see because I've got lots of commas there, but here I have a comma and then a comma encased in quotes, and that is going to be what it takes to separate your different values. So it's going to place this in between all of the three different values that it needs, the x, y, z. So in this case, it's going to put one value, then a comma, then the next value, then a comma, then the next value. And then that can also be like a tilde if you want to do relative coordinate. But you can really put whatever you want in there in case they add some new command syntax that you might need this for. And the last argument is the y offset. So in the case of using tildes, relative position, that would be added to the y position all the time to adjust it, and same with if you're using a projectile, it's going to add it to the y velocity every single time. So also I should note that you can make the speed negative, and then it will place the projectile going backwards out of you, or it will place the thing behind you if you're using relative coordinates. But now that we're all set up, let's hop into MCEdit and let's get this thing going. Alright, so we are here in MCEdit. This is our world here, and right here is the command block, even though that's also the spawn point. So what we're going to do to use the filter is all you want to do is you want to select your command block. So just click twice on the block slowly so it doesn't think you're double clicking, and then you want to hit filter, and after you've installed the filter you can go find it. It's command block directions 1.9. okay, it has a little bit of information here about how to use it, and then we have our options here. So first we have axes. This is the mode. You will either do the horizontal only or horizontal and vertical axes. Okay, so in this case we're going to do horizontal and vertical because we want to be able to go up and down as well. The next two are the accuracies, okay? The horizontal and vertical accuracy. Now, the lower the accuracy is, the more accurate it will be, and the more command blocks it will generate, so the more lag it will generate as well. Now, I restricted these to factors of 180 so that they all work nicely with the filter, but in my opinion, you do not want to make this generally you don't want to make it lower than 5, okay? Unless you're doing horizontal only, then you can really do whatever you want. You can make it as low as 1. That's why I allowed it to go as low as 1. But if you're doing horizontal and vertical, I actually recommend, if you want it to be accurate, 5 and 15. Alright? Because that way you get a nice horizontal accuracy and vertical accuracy, which doesn't really matter as much when it comes to projectiles. You can make that a bit higher. So we're actually going to be setting this to 15 and 15 because it does not need to be super accurate right now. And we're going to hit filter. Alright, and you can't see this right now, but it's bringing up the dialog box for the save schematic, and you can just save that wherever you want. And then After that's saved, you're going to go to import here, and once again you can't see this, but you're going to click on your schematic that you just saved, and you can place this wherever you want. However, I recommend using Chunk-Align just so that the game doesn't have to go between chunks when it's processing your command blocks. You're just going to click import, and then you're going to save your world. And now you can head back into Minecraft and check out your new command blocks. Alright, so once you're back in Minecraft, you can head over to your big array of command blocks, and you're going to want to find the start command block, and that's going to be the one that doesn't have any pointing into it. It's going to be at the bottom, and it's going to be the one on the northwest side towards negative x and negative z. Alright, and in this case, that's right here, and then you're going to want to power this either with an impulse command block or a repeating command block. Now, when it comes to these arrays of command blocks, I highly suggest optimizing these. You do not want these running all the time because they will cause a lot of lag, but just for the sake of the demonstration, I'm going to be using a repeating command block set to always active, okay? So now these are going to start clocking, and now we can see that once we get into our minecart, we have liftoff. And now our minecart is going to fly wherever we look, which is absolutely amazing. And you can see that we can get out of the minecart, and it will stop. And otherwise, it will keep going. This is super duper awesome. I've never made this before. That's so cool. Whee! Spaceship! Alright, so I think that's all I have for today. Taught you how to use the filter, showed you some of the new features, which are amazing. If you want to read the full changelog, you can find it in the actual filter file. Just open that up with Notepad or something. But other than that, I think that's all I have for you today. So if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and follow me on Twitter at NanoRexMC for more updates. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Rex out.